Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is the In Deep on the Delta weekly fishing report for the week of May 30th. Not a whole lot of river business going on, so we're going to jump right into the video this week. All right, sorry to interrupt, but I have received some late breaking news from the Delta Saints High School bass fishing team, and this is the team located in Clarksburg, South Sacramento. Here's the deal. The Saints have qualified a team, Jackson Nath, to go to the High School National Championships. That's going to be back in South Carolina. Here's the big news. Lamppost Pizza, June 4th, all day long, Elk Grove. If you need to get yourself a pizza that day, head out there, and they will be donating a portion of the proceeds to help Jax and Nathan go to the Nationals. So that is Lamppost Pizza, Elk Grove, all day long, June 4th. See you guys there and help these guys get back to the Nationals. Back to the report. And let's get right into the report. We'll start off with stripers, and everyone that's sending in striper reports has nothing but good things to say about what's been going on here in the last couple weeks. And I'm going to start off with one of my regular contributors, and that's Joe from Core Fishing. He's been out fishing the North Delta. And Joe said, you know, the river's in great shape. He's fishing with a lot of his friends. And Joe, I think, concentrates a little bit more on stripers than most of us do out here. He's a pretty hardcore striper guy. He's saying the bite has been wide open, lots of schoolies with good numbers of larger fish. He's had friends in his fishing community that have weighed a 16 and a 20-pound fish, and he's been getting good-sized fish. He's been getting a lot of these big fish that are coming up on topwaters that he just hasn't been able to land. So there's some big fish in the system now, mostly topwaters and mega dogs is what Joe has been saying. Joe, thanks for your continued support and sending in all these all of your reports. And that's Joe from Core Fishing. I did talk to Rob out at the Bass Hole about stripers this week. He's reporting that, you know, everywhere around Frank's Track, people are catching fish. All the major sloughs and rivers flowing into Frank's Track have stripers in them. That's going great. He's been also talking about not seeing a whole bunch of sea lions, and for whatever reason, as many stripers are in the Delta right now, you'd think there'd be more sea lions in here, but I've noticed that too. The last couple of weeks, the numbers of sea lions have been kind of dropping here on the Delta, so that's a good thing. And also the pressure out here, it's just, you know, it hasn't been a whole lot of pressure, either for stripers or for largemouth. So it's been a really pleasant time to be out here on the Delta. I have been catching some stripers. I was out this morning, caught a couple just here in Disappointment, throwing top waters. I know the guys that are fishing out of Ladd's and Paradise Point that are staying close to Stockton they're primarily fishing live bait. The bluegill are all over here, so it's really easy to go out and catch some bluegill and just fly line the bluegill around and catch. Most of the fish here in the Central Delta are, I'll say, keeper sized to maybe 20, 22 inches, you know, smaller fish, but they're providing good action. So, you know, get out here. Stripers are working. Let's get right into the largemouth bass. I'm going to change up my sheet here, and we'll start off with the New Gen tournament that was last Saturday. They had 41 boats. First place had 25.19, and that was Lorenzo and Lily Rossetti. Congratulations to Lorenzo and Lily for that 25.19 pound bag. They had 6 bags over 20 pounds. Remember, only 41 boats out there, 6 bags over 20 pounds. Total fish weighed in were 168 fish. The average weight per fish was 3.2 ounces, and we've been talking about this, you know, for pretty much the last 3 or 4 weeks. Just the quality average size fish. So, you know, for an average fish they had 168 fish. The average fish that was weighed in was 3.21 pounds. That's a very good average. Now, the average number of fish per team was 4.1. Everybody didn't get a limit, but they, you know, pretty close to limits, and the average team weight was almost 13 pounds, 12.9. So that's You know, good fishing at the top, 25 to win. Lots of guys fishing that, 18 to 20 pounds. They're getting some heavy sacks, and the average guys are getting right at 13. So that's pretty darn good fishing out here. I talked to Rob. He's also saying that the bite has been good. Rob has been getting a lot of reports, whopper ploppers and frogs for topwater, Cincos, jigs, and chatterbaits for subsurface. And one thing that Rob has been saying is there's no big punch bite on yet. So that's a little bit weird. There's plenty of stuff to punch out here. I haven't been doing a whole lot of punching because I haven't had to punch, and I'm not huge on punching when I don't have to, but there's plenty of stuff to punch, and I definitely believe that as the summer wears on and water temperatures go up, we're going to start getting a better punch bite. So just keep that in mind. Everything in the Delta right now, as far as water quality and clarity, and there's nowhere in the Delta that you can't fish. Rob said that around Frank's Track over to Mildred, it's a little bit cloudy and there's some dark water in there. Once you get into Mildred, it clears up, but we've had quite a bit of wind, and you guys may not notice it today, but if I hold this up, I'm tucked in here in it's Wednesday. I'm tucked in behind some tules, but there's probably about a steady 15-mile-an-hour breeze coming up today. Now it's, the last week or so, the wind has really been my friend anyhow. There are days when it's just been flat calm. Fishing is obviously tougher on those days, but we have had a little bit of breeze here. Water temperatures around 70 to 72 degrees, and they're holding steady. We've got a good weather pattern coming up. Unfortunately, it's not a great tide pattern. So let's talk about, the good fishing that we've had this last week. Everybody's out catching fish. I think that's going to taper off a little bit. I've noticed the bite being a little tougher in the last few days, and that's because of the coefficients, the tide coefficients, moon phases. We're not going to have some great tides this next week, but after 5 or 6 days, by next week when I do the report, we're going to be into a good tidal situation with a lot of salooner activity, and I think that that's going to be really, this week may be a little slower than it was last week, but next week is going to be better. So take that into consideration. I've been out quite a bit, and the morning bite and the evening bite, the change of light bite, is really perked up. It's we were out. Nate, I got my son Nate right here. What were we out at 5 o'clock this morning, Nate?
Your first light. Yeah.
First light, and we had, I'd say, 45 minutes of really quality fishing, and then it just dropped. It tapered off. We caught a couple of stripers. We got fish on frogs. You got a fish on a Mikey. What else we got them on walking baits? We got them on poppers. So
it went from hot and heavy to just off.
Yep. And boy, we could tell because as we got out here, every fish that came up was just on it, blowing up on it. And when they stopped, we continued to get a few more bites, but we could just tell that those fish were, not committing. Anyhow, the fishing early and late has been good. The fishing throughout the day has been good. It's tide related. I have been fishing around the last 2 hours of the incoming tide, and then as it ebbs at high tide, it slows down the next 2 hours as the tide starts going out. The fishing has been really well for me, and that's when I've been planning my days around that tide. And I will say it's, if you're not out super early or fishing right at dark, when it's easy fishing, you can catch fish, but they're not easy to catch. You got to work on them, and I still think that fishing a 6-inch wacky worm is probably your best bet. If you've got a little bit of breeze on, the chatterbaits are the way to go. The topwater bite has not been great throughout the day, although in the morning and the evening it's been really, really on fire. The frog bite is coming on. So with that, I think that gives you guys all the information you need. You just have to get out here and start fishing. Multi-species is great right now. If you find those areas where you have some cuts, where there's some a little bit more tide, the stripers are holding in very shallow water, and they're really You know, they're taking active moving baits, things that are walking, and things that are moving fast. So with that, again, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. Next week I'll be talking about maybe doing some night fishing. I'm hoping to get out. It is cool. You know, I want to wait for the nights to get up to about 70, 75, 80 degrees, you know, so it's a little warmer to go out there and fish in the evening. But I want to do some night fishing, and I might have a report for a night fish out. The bigger fish are coming in now. A lot of the females are post-spawn, so the numbers of fish should stay steady, and we should be starting to get some bigger fish. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to cut out here and see if I can't wait for that tide to start moving and see if we can't get some fish today. So see you guys on the water. Good luck until next week.